Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Pure Digital Passion Podcast with me, Moses Kemi Barrow. And today we have a special edition with a very special guest who recently has joined us here in Kenya. His name is Djibril Tobe from Airtel Kenya, the new MD for this market. And we're going to have a chance to speak to him about all the things that are happening within Airtel to date, but more importantly, what he hopes to achieve during his tenure in this new position. And obviously today we got an Airtel Money update for Kenya around the business activities, a lot of interesting offers that I believe we'll talk a little bit about in this conversation. But most importantly, we want to get to know the man, his background, what he's been doing, and how he hopes to possibly transform the market here in Kenya. Thank you so much for joining us, Djibril. So you've spent more than 2 decades building businesses across the African continent, from consulting and Coca-Cola to Guinea to senior roles in Airtel, Burkina Faso, Chad, and of course, Congo, Brazzaville, your most recent position. After your first month in Kenya, what has surprised you the most about this market, and what assumptions have you already had to revise?
Okay, thank you very much, Moses. Thank you for hosting me. First of all, I would like to congratulate you for your blog and the number of followers and the key role you're playing in the ICT sector in Kenya. And it's a great honor for me to be your guest today. And first of all, I would like that I'm very happy to be in Kenya. Kenya is a very friendly country. As I was saying today during the launch, I love buying my maidi choma, eating my nyama choma,
You've got local already.
Absolutely, I've got local already. As you said, coming to Kenya was a game changer for me, because Kenya, from where I was operating in Airtel, Chad and Congo B, the size of the market in Kenya is way, way bigger.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea, Congo B and Kenya is like 10x.
Wow.
Congo B population is 5.5 million.
Yes.
Kenya is 55 million. You see?
You can't compare.
You can compare.
Yeah.
So it is very exciting for me. It's a market with these particularities. As you know, it's a market where mobile money has the birthplace of mobile money.
Yes.
Where mobile money was launched and created. And today it's a big, big thing. It's like 2 times even the total transaction is 2 times the GDP of the country.
Yes, exactly.
So, it tells you how important it is. Yes, I come here with a lot of humility. Also, I have spent 20 years in telecom, building businesses, as you rightly said, in various markets. I am very humble. I think I have to learn a lot from this market.
Yes.
I've been going around since a month now. I've been going to inside Nairobi. I've been going to Coast. I was recently in Kitengela. I was in Nakuru, I was in Naivasha, so I'm touring the country.
You've seen a lot already,
Exactly,
yeah?
a lot, but I'm giving myself a quarter, 3 months from end of September. Then I will be better off to reply to your question.
Yes.
But so far from what I've seen, because I'm not credible yet to talk, I need to learn, but for what I've seen, it's a very dynamic market, a lot of opportunities. People are hungry for data.
Yes.
People want better quality of service.
Correct.
Higher speed internet on the go. Internet everywhere, internet at home.
Correct.
People like to be connected, and people want to move money very quickly, and they don't want to be charged for moving money. They're ready to pay for added value services. That's what I see, and it's a very uptrending market, very dynamic Gen Z generation.
Correct.
When I walk into the malls, and I love these malls, all around Nairobi, you have nothing to envy to Dubai. I could even call Nairobi a little Africa Dubai, Dubai of Africa. You can feel how connected those youngsters are. They carry their phones, they want to live, they want to express themselves.
Yes.
And people like you with your blogs are also contributing to building that dynamic ecosystem. And my ambition is just to help you, give you the tools to build that ecosystem that will enable any Kenyans to use the ICT tools, to use data, to use internet, to use innovative products to express himself, to create value, to have an entrepreneurship mind, and again, for the benefit of the communities and the country.
Wow, that sounds excellent.
Thank you.
So you're inheriting a business that has more than doubled its revenue. You've grown from 16 million to more than 24 million subscribers.
Correct.
You've rolled out over 2,000 new sites, I think doubling the size of your network recently.
Correct.
You've also lifted Airtel Money as a business from 2% to 11%.
Absolutely.
As was confirmed today from the statistics that we have over 4 years. And really, I think at this stage, maybe it's harder to acquire more customers.
Yes.
And really what you want to sort of is focus probably on deeper, better experience, deeper usage, stronger economics. We heard about some of the new initiatives today, which maybe you can also talk about. But what two outcomes should Kenyans use to judge your leadership over the next 2 years or so?
First and foremost for me in my tenure is to maintain, grow, and strengthen that momentum.
Yes.
That's critical for me. You cannot allow that momentum to fade. And by the way, it's an opportunity for me to pay a tribute to my predecessor, Ashish Malhotra, who over 4 years has been doing a fantastic job. He did exactly what Peter Thiel, that probably, who is the founder of PayPal and the leading shareholder of Facebook and Nxtra. Peter Thiel wrote a book called From Zero to One. He said,
I read it, yeah. Fantastic.
Then you know what I'm talking about. Ashish and the team here, my EC members, valuable EC members, commercial team, all the team, they did that. They moved the needle from 0 to 1. They were able to move it. Now my tenure is for me to take that needle further, to fast track that momentum.
Yes.
And I can only do so by being more innovative, focusing on the discipline of execution, seamless execution, and obviously having always our customers on mind. I never should divert focus from thinking about our customers. Customer focus, customer hungry. You said it that there is not much more room for more customers. I tend to disagree a bit. Yeah, let me explain. Because we have various services. Right now, even this number you mentioned, 6 million customers using Airtel Money.
Correct.
Out of the 19.5 to 20 million GSM customers we have.
So moving across.
If you do 20 million minus 6, give you 14 million customers that are using GSM, which means they do voice and data, but they're not using our Airtel Money wallet.
Correct.
I want to win those 14 million customers. We still have a long way to go because we want to claim our fair share of the market. Internally, we need to work on those customers that are using Airtel for calling and for internet, but they're not using us when it comes to money.
Yes.
Those are, for example, our biggest opportunity for us to grow again more customers into our franchise. And we can only do so by giving them better quality of service, more innovative products than what they're getting actually.
Yeah.
And that's why today, with this Bizna Wallet, Rudishiwa is part of that journey I want to take for my next years here in Ghana, 2 to 3 years in Kenya, my next 2 to 3 years in Kenya. Part of that journey is to bring more innovative product and services into our portfolio so that we can win those 14 million customers I'm talking to you about. And eventually also more customers that are sitting on the other side of the competition.
Maybe you can touch a little bit on the initiatives that were launched today. And I know it's fresh.
Yes.
But because we're having this conversation, I think it would be a shame not to talk about them and how maybe those feed into this longer term strategy. Okay. Can you talk a little bit about the Bizna proposition and then some of the other initiatives around Airtel Money? Yeah.
We first launched Bizna Wallet. Bizna is an innovative portfolio designed for our merchants to separate their personal funds from their business funds. There was a need in the market for that. And Bizna allows free transaction for both our customers and the merchants who are going to use it. And if you transact in Bizna or in any other services of Airtel Money, like sending from person to person, by paying a buy goods or a pay bill, those things now you will get 50% cash back on the cost of your transaction. If your transaction is, let's say, 50 bob to do buy goods or a pay bill, 25 bob will be sent back as cash back to your wallet. If you remember before, those 50% was sent as airtime.
I remember this,
that you could use. But now we've changed this today when we launched Bizna.
Actual cash. Just to tell again our customers that we've been listening to them. There was this need for cash back. It will help them. And obviously, we are also taking the opportunity to break out a big campaign. The Ni Mi Nakushow. Ni Mi Nakushow is a thematic campaign. And this is the first time we've been doing this in Kenya. We've never launched a thematic campaign. And I'm very honored to be the MD with this new era. This will be a big campaign on TV, radio, billboard, everywhere, digital, to tell and to educate Kenyans that there is an alternative. You want to tell Kenyans there is not only one, payment system. You also have Airtel Money. And on Airtel Money, you have 50% cashback.
That's basically the message we want to send to Kenyans, you know. There is another payment system. There is another alternative to payments. And please try us. As much as most of Kenyans have 2 numbers,
yes,
we also like them to have 2 wallets.
Correct.
You know, I told you just a few minutes ago about these 14 million people that we have on our GSM portfolio that are not using our money portfolio, our money services. To those ones, we say, come and try us. Come and get 50% cashback. Come and experiment Airtel Money. You know, because we've invested recently into a new platform. And that new platform now is enabling us to offer most of the product and services. Very soon, you will have good news coming in the loan side. We've already been offering loans, but we will be stepping up our loans offer.
Okay.
And on and on and on. We've been looking at exploring, you know, the particular segments where there was tailored needs for those use cases to be developed, and we are working on that.
Fantastic. I'm glad to hear about some of these other new positions.
Thank
So
you.
there's a lot more to come, basically.
Absolutely, a lot more. This is just the beginning of the journey, because, you know, we're breaking out this thematic campaign, first to educate people, to tell them, and if you look at the video we've aired, you see there was a couple of situations, you know, when there is a bank to wallet, you get your salary on the bank, but you are not eager to transfer it to your wallet because you think the cost will be higher.
Correct.
You know, you also have these, merchant payment. The
Correct.
guy, that lady who was riding the border, and the border offered him another payment, but the lady, you know, was a bit scared because she believes that if she's using Airtel Money to pay to the border network, that will be costly for her. And eventually she realizes that, you know, even paying to any network, you will still get your 50% cashback. So that's education we're trying to do.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about the My Airtel app, because obviously we've been using it a lot.
True.
I personally have been a very big advocate for smarter bundles since early last year.
Thank you so much.
I transitioned there, and I started using Airtel Money this year.
Thank you so much.
I will not tell you why or how it happened. I think you probably know the legacy of something that happened a few months ago.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
And I wrote extensively about the fact that I think Airtel Money is sort of almost like a giant waiting to happen.
Absolutely.
You know, and of course, there's these other global moves happening, the IPO, etc. And I think people maybe don't appreciate that. But I think for me, I'd like to talk a little bit about how the app is sort of central to the Airtel Money experience and everything Airtel offers. I think it's brilliant. You know, I'm using it to buy bundles. I'm paying for internet at home. I have the 5G routers as well. And really, there's this sort of multi-payment pragmatism that I see in this product. How central is My Airtel to the growth of Airtel Money? Because even I think today you could see even the Airtel experience is ahead of the USSD, the way you promote it. And the wider Airtel customer experience for Kenya.
You know, something very funny I found in Kenya, and you will probably help me to understand that, is you people are still using STK to do your transactions. You know, as much as we look at you Kenyans, we look up you as most innovative country when it comes to ICT, the birthplace of mobile financial
technology
services.
Forward.
But nobody's using STK in the rest of Africa.
Yeah.
You know, but still using it. That tells you what? Customer will always use a service as much as they see the value. You know? Now, My Airtel app is trying to tell people that it is STK, but in better. You know, STK is slightly different from USSD, right?
Correct.
But the app now is the next phase of STK. And I'm using this opportunity to tell Kenyans, please try the app. Today, if you download the app, you have 1 GB free.
Immediately on downloading.
You download the app, you have 1 GB free. And the app has been very innovative and ahead of its timing. You know, what you've said, has happened a few months ago, because they were trying to catch up, because we were ahead by offering one app and for both GSM and mobile money.
And all seamlessly integrated.
Seamlessly, you know. Our competition, even in Kenya or other countries, because we're in 14 countries, they couldn't catch up before. They are trying to catch up now. But we were ahead of this long time before. And that experience, we are giving it as a benefit to the Kenyan. Let me tell you, today on the app, not only you have all these fantastic services, GSM services, products and services, buying bundles, buying airtime, etc., transferring money, receiving money, blah, blah, blah. But you are also able to self-care. Self-care means you no longer need to walk into our rooms, our shops, to queue for a half day just for a PIN reset, just for reversing a transaction or calling the call center and waiting. Most of these self-care hygiene things that consumers, we call them consumers' pain points.
Yes.
Sometimes you forgot your PIN, you try 3 times and your service is blocked. Then you can no longer use your money, which is in your wallet.
Correct.
You have to call a call center, which tell you to come with your ID at the shop for us to check. Now, with this app, we're trying to call it as a self-care app. Most of these pain points can be actually addressed through the app. So it's not only just an app for selling product and services, but it's an app also which has the consumer at heart.
Yes.
How we make sure the consumer, look at the Apple, the like of Microsoft. When you sell their product, they don't have a shop, they don't have a call center.
It's all digital delivery.
Everything is digital, everything is in the box, and you unpack your iPhone, and the rest is in the box, it's digital. That's the same idea to say that, people have to be able to self-care when they use the app.
Yeah.
Now, the app is also a very open platform, for our partners. With this new app and the new platform, integrating partners is very easy, it's seamless through APIs. And by the way, I'm appealing to all the Kenyan ICT developers, all those, geek Kenyans who are working hard to create apps, to create services, innovative startups. Please think about integrating now Airtel Money as a payment means, because now it has become seamless and easy for them to, you can be an innovator geek, you can be a developer, you can have your startup app, your startup service you offer. You still need a payment, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, if you integrate Airtel Money, it is so easy. It's just the API integration. So you see, the app has a 360 holistic view of what the ecosystem should be. The customer at the heart, all the product and services, self-care the customer, and seamless integration of all stakeholders.
Very recently, actually, I was sending some money to one of my siblings.
Yes.
Based in Tanzania.
You're generous.
So I was now thinking, okay, how do I do this?
Yes.
And then I confirmed with him that he's using Airtel.
Absolutely.
So I went through the app and I was able to send the money to Tanzania seamlessly. I also love the way it was kind of showing me how the process is going. And that's a use case I'd never tried before.
You see?
But now it's even easier for me because apparently he and a couple of other siblings are also using Airtel Money.
Very good.
And the fact that the app made me do it in a very seamless, simple way. I didn't have to start looking for a USSD code. I just chose the country, the number.
Absolutely.
And I don't know whether people are aware of these things. And I think that's part of the challenge.
Yes, exactly. I don't think so as well. I agree with you. They're not aware of it.
Yeah.
And this is part of the challenge. That's why we're breaking this, Ni Mi Nakushow.
Yeah.
Ni Mi Nakushow campaign will really start. What you've seen is just the video.
Yeah.
This is the TV ad. But Priska and her team, they are now working into multiple digital tactical campaign.
Yes.
On the digital, you will see a lot of banners will come highlighting all the use cases, and that will include the international money transfer, which is very important. We're talking about Africa integration. We're talking about, cutting barriers. And Kenya, by the way, I have to commend and applaud your senior leadership and your government for making Kenya a visa-free country for Africans. And if the visa is free, why shouldn't we be able to transfer money throughout Africa? From your Kenya country, you should be able to send money everywhere. And that's one of the reasons also we've been coming with this app to offer that service.
Correct. I want to talk about a few more things before we finish up. One is this home and business broadband market is growing.
Yes.
A few months ago, I was at, I think, the Connected Government event, and I saw the launch of your new fiber to the home propositions, and I think fiber to the business.
Yeah.
We also know that you're working with SpaceX to bring this direct connectivity to phones. Can you talk a little bit about that, both on the broadband internet side, and then how this fits in also with this other facility that SpaceX will also provide?
The broadband actually was a good example that if you offer a seamless experience to your customer with value, it will be successful. When we launched the broadband, we started by what we call the IDU. It was an internal device.
Yes.
And the success was so huge, and the need for data was so high that device was completely overwhelmed in terms of speed and capacity. So then our innovation research, we step up now with the ODU, which is an outdoor unit. It's an outdoor unit that when you set it up, you have a piece of the antenna that you have to mount on your wall outdoor.
Yes.
Communicating directly with the tower. And by doing so, we were able, by the way, Moses, to create a lot of jobs because we hired
The engineers and all.
Yes, thousands of installers, thousands of what we call DSCs, sellers, salesmen who will go house to house to sell those products. And we were able to train them to understand how you set up those outdoor units. And we were giving very high speed, download speed with those ODUs. And it's a successful business. We're growing it double digit. But again, even those ODUs will come to a point that the demand will be so high that then fiber will be now the ultimate proposition.
So it's a natural transition.
Exactly. So we're segmenting, IDU, ODU, and fiber. Natural transition. Now, DTC, direct to sell, is also another innovation to complement the RAN radio network. Our radio network covers you wherever we have an antenna with some reach. Now, some places like you just said, northeastern, could be a challenge to have antennas everywhere because sometimes the business case for antenna will not be cost effective.
The population density,
Absolutely, the population density. And then that's where now the satellite coverage, the partnership with SpaceX become critical because satellites coverage with SpaceX all over the world and they have authorization for Kenya. Now we're just waiting for the regulator to give us the authorization to launch that product, which we have successfully piloted a few months ago. And we were among the first operator in Africa to do so.
Fantastic.
And Kenya, I'm very proud to say this was the first OPCO within the 14 African OPCOs of Airtel Africa, the 14 ones to do the pilot.
Fantastic.
Even me in Congo, I did the pilot after Kenya.
Okay.
Yeah, so that you see, we are trying as much as we can to meet our customer demand. Customers, what they want, simple things. Give me good network, give me high-speed internet. And whenever I have a pain point, fix it.
That's it.
That's basically our motto. High quality network, high speed internet, and fix my pain points. I've lost my phone. I want to reset my PIN. I've lost my SIM. I want to reverse this transaction. I made a mistake here. Those are the things that we call their pain points.
Yes.
And we want to focus on that. And as much as we can, we will tell them to self-care themselves. Of course, there will be some instances where they will unfortunately have to get to our shops. And by the way, we've been rolling out an ambitious contact center program. This is our shops. Probably you've seen some of them.
Yes.
Beautiful ones.
The retail shops.
Refurbished, the retail shop. Exactly.
I also spoke to Moses earlier.
Exactly.
Yes.
So this is also part of our customer focus to make sure that all our customer pain points will be addressed in a timely manner.
Okay. My last question to you is actually regarding Nxtra.
Yes.
You're currently building a 44 megawatt hyperscale data center in Tatu City. I think the commissioning is expected to happen next year.
Absolutely.
And I just wanted to ask you, what must Airtel Kenya do between now and the launch in terms of securing cloud, AI, government, financial services, enterprise workloads? And how will Kenyan startups and SMEs benefit from this infrastructure investment? And the reason why this for me is so interesting is that people always see as a mobile network, probably an internet provider in the home, but now there's this data center that you're putting up with a very serious investment.
Absolutely.
What can we expect from that? And how do you see it changing the complexion of that market in this space?
Absolutely. Yeah. Very, very good question. Because as you rightly said, people perceive us as MNOs as B2C.
Yes.
We've been always offering a product to the consumers. This is a breakthrough now into our offering products to the businesses. It's a B2B. This is primarily designed for businesses.
Yes.
And we want to enable businesses as much as we have enabled customers to have good voice, good quality data, good mobile money. As much as we've done so with our consumers, we want to do that with the businesses now. And the businesses meaning the big corporation, the SMEs, and even the formal and the little SMEs.
Yes.
How are we going to do that? We're going to give them the infrastructure for them to host their data and their platforms. They will no longer have to deal with, remote cloud suppliers. And that will be also tallying with the country's policy to have the data within the country in terms of DPO. Because that data center stays in Kenya.
And data governance as well.
Exactly.
Data sovereignty.
Absolutely. And you wouldn't believe it, even the big boys, the Googles, the Microsoft, they are right now coming to us.
The hyperscalers.
Yes, absolutely, because they are interested in renting part of that infrastructure, because then they make most of their servers locally here so that all the Kenya traffic stays within Kenya and all the data that generates by Facebook users of Kenya, Instagram users of Kenya, WhatsApp users of Kenya will remain in Kenya.
Fantastic.
And will be processed locally. But apart from the big boys, we are talking to the Kenya corporation and the SMEs to tell them, now you're going to have the infrastructure you've been waiting for.
Fantastic.
To be able now to really boost your business. Because then you can have enough capacity to do the biggest offers you want to do. You know, look at all the corporations that are dealing with big data, like the banks.
Correct.
The banking system here today. We will be able to offer all the banks a really safe haven place where they can store their data, process it within a very optimized lead time, because everything stays in the country.
Fantastic.
And this is to mention a few. I can give you a lot of examples. And even SMEs that are not used to data center, I'm calling to them to say, come and see us. We will have tailor-made proposal for you, because we also want you to upgrade your capabilities into data management.
Fantastic.
We want you to say, gone are the days where you store on disk, you store on USB keys. You will come and we will host you, and we will look a very preferential price for you. So you see, it's a breakthrough for us, and for the ICT sector, and for Kenya. And the fact that we've chosen Kenya, remember we operate in Tanzania, we operate in Uganda, but we wanted to show our belief and trust in Kenya by putting Nxtra in Kenya. And that will reinforce and strengthen Kenya's position as a digital leading ICT hub in East Africa. And I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Djibril, thank you so much. You've given me
My
much
pleasure,
more time than I could have hoped for.
Thank you.
And I don't know whether there's any last words you want to share with our audience before we close.
Yes, just first to thank you very much for hosting me. I am really happy to be in your show. And I'm looking forward to follow you on your blogs. And to say to all Kenyans, asante sana. I love this country. I like the nyama choma. And I'm looking forward to, big and more innovative products and services launched very soon with Airtel. Stay tuned. We have a lot more to go.
Thank you so much, Djibril, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity and the team at Airtel who made it possible. And we want to wish you all the best as you move forward. Kenya is a wonderful place, and I'm sure you'll do well with this market.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us for this edition of the Pure Digital Passion Podcast. Yeah. You've heard it from Djibril, one of our first interviews with him, and we hope we'll have many more. And of course, we will catch you in the next one.